But a market master of the day is ready with us. Vinit Sambre is Head of Equities at DSP Investment Managers. Vinit, good to have you with us here. Thank you very much for your time. Good morning. The two sort of consensus, in a way, themes which were supposed to work out. One, that large caps will start to do a lot better than mid and small caps. And that this is the time now for financials because there is a large margin of comfort there. So far, the market in its collective wisdom seems to be ignoring both these sort of beliefs in that sense, Vinit. How long, you think?
So Prashant, I think it's very difficult to call out the timings of each of these segments. But, as you know, whenever the markets actually are in, they are backing a specific fancy or a specific narrative, I think it tends to get extended, and which is what we are witnessing right now when it comes to maybe some of these small caps or some of the themes which are just doing well right now. And at the moment, like you mentioned, the large caps are getting ignored. The banking sector has seen, we were just looking at some of the, doing the analysis for the banking sector. Last 4 years, it has underperformed the Nifty banking index has underperformed the Nifty overall. And if we take collectively last, let's say 5 years or 6 years return, Nifty banking has, on a 10-year rolling basis, has always outperformed the Nifty overall return. So I believe it's a matter of time as the fundamentals start. People start focusing on the fundamentals. The banking sector generally is in good shape right now. Maybe a quarter or two, once the concern around the peaking NIMs goes away, I think that's where maybe the banking sector starts to do well.
Okay. Vinit, hi, it's good seeing you after a while. And this entire space, the mid-cap and small-cap space that you've been tracking so closely for the last so many years, is now started to outperform quite a bit. Are there any themes or spaces, sectors that you like from here on? I mean, so much has come back in a big way, whether it's real estate, whether it's renewable energy, whether it's electric vehicles, newer themes. What's your focus area now?
Yeah, so I think a few segments. So as the valuations keeps rising, and as the stock prices keeps going up, the opportunities also from the valuation perspective keep receding. So I mean that is one fundamental viewpoint. But at the same time, when we are actually looking at a few segments, we still believe that the visibility of growth in terms of the earnings for some of these segments are good. And despite the valuations maybe at some premium, it is okay to hold on to some of these segments. So in that view, so I think healthcare is one category which I have been bullish about and has started performing. There we are seeing margin expansion leading to earnings growth, which I believe is a good segment to be over the next 1 or 2 years. I see that the category should continue to outperform. It has seen underperformance for the last 1 to 2 years. Banking, as I said, across the NBFCs and the banks, I think it's a good place to be in. Maybe 1 or 2 quarters should be a good time to accumulate some of these categories of stocks. The other bit is the consumer discretionary, and we have seen that the segment has underperformed for a while because of the low demand environment. Now, my sense is that it has been a good 1 year long period where the consumption has been slow, and my sense is that as the inflation has hurt the pockets, the real adjustment should start taking place. And consumer discretionary is something which we are incrementally looking at good companies because we are believers of long-term consumption story in India. And then, few themes which I always like. Agri is one theme which I like. Building material is one thing which I like. And now more so because the real estate is doing well. So I think these are some themes which one can actually look at when it comes to good visibility of growth in future.
Okay. Hi, Vinit. Good to see you in. Vinit, after a while, we've got a lot of interest in the IPO market and from the Tata stable as well. Tata Technologies. Big interest out there. There are some listed peers as well, so to call it ER&D players, and some of them have as is done well. What's your view on the IT and in particular the ER&D space?
Actually, we have exposure to ER&D space, and in our mid and small caps, I think we have a good amount of exposure there through one of the small cap name known as C&. So we have a positive view. Overall, I think, when one is looking at the overall slowdown as far as the IT services are concerned, ER&D may be placed slightly better in terms of the growth prospects. And I think even the long-term prospects for some of these companies are looking good. Now depending upon what type of companies we are talking about, there are, some segments within the ER&D which were slow. Let's say the aviation related business. I think those should start picking up now. And again, depending upon the mix of the companies trying to target those, I think they should do well. So I think overall we have a good view on the IT with a long-term view. Maybe the near term may be slightly more, slow. But on ER&D, I think we are generally bullish, is what I can say.
Signed.
And by the way, the Tata Tech IPO, of course, lists. The listing is the day after tomorrow. Thursday is the Tata Tech listing, so that'll be closely watched as well, isn't it? Vinit, on the agri side, could you be a little more specific? What do you own there, and what's the call? What kind of names really? Is it agrochemicals you're referring to, or sectors dependent on that segment?
So actually, we have exposure, direct agri plays through both agrochemical and fertilizer. And I think there are decent sized companies out here doing good business. My sense is that agri overall, if you look at the framework here, we are the second largest agricultural economy in the world. And when it comes to the overall arable land, we just have about 50% of our arable land which is irrigated. So I believe that there is a huge amount of opportunity which is there as far as the agri business is concerned. And when we look at the companies both across the fertilizer and the agrochemical chain, I think as I mentioned, there are good leading companies out there doing well, good market shares. So I think that over the longer term, I think these companies should start doing well. Right now, at the moment, we had seen agrochemical go through slightly, a slow environment in the last 1.5 year. They were facing high raw material price environment, and so I think those are normalizing. And I think over the next 1 or 2 years, agrochemicals should start doing well. Is my sense. Fertilizer is a bit more stable, is what I can say.
Okay, agrochemicals should start doing well. Got it. Thanks a lot, Vinit, for joining in. Have a great festive season, and hopefully we'll get to speak to you again very soon.